everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video I'm going to be doing my monthly wrap up. It is the month of October, so this will be my October wrap up. I'm going to be telling you the books I read in no particular order, so let's go! Funnily enough, this book, it's Department 19 by Will Hill. This is a young adult book about a boy who, when he's younger, his father was killed in front of him by a group of people dressed in like army clothes. And then like he moves schools and then his mum disappears. And he gets taken in by the guys that killed his dad, but it turns out that these people are from Department 19, and Department 19 is a place where these people learn and grow to kill vampires, because vampires, werewolves, ghosts, and all these creatures are real, and Department 19 was set up by Van Helsing when Van Helsing was alive, and all the stories about Dracula are real, and Frankenstein, and it's a really fun book. I had a problem, the only thing I had a problem was the pacing. It was very, very fast all the way through. And I felt like I missed a few things. What I did like about this book was the fact that Bram Stoker, Van Helsing, they all have appearances in the book. I like the detail of the relationships and the backstory, and I just like the idea of there being a secret department like MI5 and the CIA, but who deal with supernatural crises. So yeah, really cool book. Go check this out if you're into like a fast-paced read. You might thoroughly enjoy it. I read The Infinite Sea this month by Yancy. I rated this like a 4 stars, I think. I really enjoyed this. I liked the fact that it was based on loads of different characters which we haven't normally heard from or read from their point of view. It is a shorter book, so that's why I didn't rate it as much, because I was wondering why the first one was so big and this one was so small. It makes me think that the last one could either be really big or be small as well, and I kind of feel like I've got lots of unanswered questions. Like, this book left me with so many questions about what we've learned, and is all what we learned true, and it's just, yeah, it was a really fun read. I read it literally in a day, so I wish I took a bit more time reading it. Definitely check this out. I mean, if you've read The Fifth Wave, you've got to give this one a go, because it's just, you know, you've just got to find out more about the story. It is good. And there was a lot of action and kind of, you know, those moments in books where you're like, like those moments, moments. So I read a Scott Westfeld book this month. I read Afterworlds. I didn't know too much about this book before I went into it, but I came out of it absolutely loving this book. I don't have any negative things to say about this book at all. I took my time reading it. It's a dual perspective book because it's you read, there's 2 stories involved. There's a paranormal and a contemporary. The contemporary is the real life story. It's what's the, you know, it's the idea of the story about this girl who gets a book deal. Now the other part of the story, the second story in this book, is the girl's book, which she got the book deal from. So you're not only reading about her journey of becoming a young adult author, moving to New York and living that young adult life and becoming an author and meeting authors and writing and doing all these awesome things, but you also get to read her book she wrote in conjunction. So you can see there's like black bits, they're her paranormal book. So it was really nice because I've just talked about finding contemporary books hard before, but reading a book where it has paranormal involved as well was really refreshing, and it gave me breaks, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I recommend it to anyone. This is the first Scott Westfeld book I've read, and it was just really good. I'm really, really, really happy with it. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. I read Daughter of Chaos by Jen McConnell. This book was great. It's about a girl who is a witch, and she knows she's a witch, her family are witches, and she goes to this school where it's like just like a normal school, but you also learn about witchcraft. It's not like Harry Potter or anything, it's very modern day, very realistic. This girl has to pick whether she's going to be a white witch, which are your classical pure-spirited witches, a black witch who is your not so classical nice witch and is kind of an evil witch, or a green witch, which is very into the nature. There's 3 different types, and Hecate, by the way, Greek gods play a big part in this book, as well as other gods as well from different cultures and stuff. It's fantastic. Hecate comes to her, which is very strange, because being a goddess, being a very powerful goddess, she doesn't just go to anyone. She goes to her and she asks her, what are you going to be? You need to make your decision. And she says, she doesn't know what to say, so she randomly says, I'm going to be a red witch. Now, this shocks everybody because, of course, nobody knew that there was red witches. And it turns out that she's chosen to be a red witch, and she has to find out what a red witch is, what that means, why everyone's so shocked, why people are scared, what is happening around her, and what she needs to do. It's a great, great book of self-discovery, and the magic is awesome in it, and it was a really quick read. I read this in a day as well. It was, and I recommend this. This is a month 9 book, which is the publishing house, and they publish some amazing books, so you need to read this book. It's really good. Right, okay, I read the sequel to The Outside by Laura Bickle. Now, some of you might know, I made a video, my top 13 books of 2013, I will link it down below, and in that I said that I loved The Hallowed Ones, and that is the first book in the series. It made my list, right? So anyway, I was laid in bed and I was trying to read a book, The Winter's Curse, and I just couldn't get into it, unfortunately. And it was about 9:30 at night, and I was like, I need to read a book, I need to at least start a book. If I'm putting down The Winter's Curse, I just need to start a book. So I saw this on there and I was like, do you know what, it's late, I'm just going to pick it up, I'm going to try it. I love the first one, so I must love this one, right? 2 hours later, I finished the book. 2 hours later, I finished this book. It was so good. It was so fast-paced. It's basically a post-apocalyptic book, but everyone's turned into vampires, and the only way of surviving it is on holy ground. It follows a girl who's a girl from an Amish community. Amish. It was fantastic. Honest to God, it was so good. Look at my hand, it's moving because I love this book. It was so good. It trumped the first one. The first one was amazing, but it was even better than the first one. I just absolutely adored it. I read it in 2 hours and I could not sleep. I've never actually had that thing with a book before where I couldn't sleep. I could not put the book down. So I loved it. The only thing that I had a problem with was the well, no, I didn't have the problem with it, I just laughed at it. It was the there was a glimmer of hope in the book, and if you read it you'll know, and it's with a scientist and he's discovered something, and it just made me giggle. But I did like it still. I loved where this story went, I loved how it ended, and I just love this series. So everyone go check out a Laura Bickle book, it's very good. This month I read Say Her Name by James Dawson. This is a creepy UKYA book. It's about the Bloody Mary curse, and the story about Bloody Mary, about a group of teenagers in school get dared to do the Bloody Mary, where you stand in front of the mirror at midnight and you say Bloody Mary 3 times. I'm not going to do it because that, viewfinders I count that as a mirror, and I'm not having Bloody Mary come after me, so you better get your life. So anyway, this girl and a couple of her friends find out that Bloody Mary isn't just a story and it's real, and they start seeing her appearing in the corner of mirrors. It's just very freaky. I love the whole mystery aspect, and I love the ending of the book where you get to find out what has caused this to happen and why there is Bloody Mary. It's great, and I love the flashbacks as well. You get a lot of flashbacks to the past. We like flashbacks. Do you like flashbacks? I like flashbacks too. If you wanna read this book, you might like flashback do. I read Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. I loved this book again. It was great. This is a contemporary book, right? And I picked it up because I was like, I need to start reading contemporary, I need to give it a go. Turns out there's paranormal aspects in this. I read a quote somewhere and it said it's Carrie, Stephen King's Carrie / 90210. It explains it perfectly. I don't want to tell you too much about this book though, because it will give everything away, and the surprise is in the not knowing. So go and check this book out, read it for what it is, and you might really enjoy it. I can't talk about this one too much, but this is a proof of the Fire Sermon by Francesca Haig. Oh, poke my eye. This is going to be a future release. This is going to be a humongous future release, guys. It's already got film rights, they've been sold. I think they're already starting to film soon. Just keep an eye out for this. Keep your ears and eyes out. I'll be talking about this more nearer the time to when it's coming out, but it's great. It's a dystopian read, so dystopian fantasy as well, actually. I'd say it's quite fantastical. Very fantastical. I read Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Paige. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It's a modern take on The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy has turned into a mean girl, and the main character has to go and kill her. Now this girl, Amy, has to go from Kansas in a storm, which is your stereotypical way of getting to, the Wizard of Oz, the land of Oz. And she goes and she notices that everything is different, magic is being seeped out, and she has to become something to kill Dorothy. There's lots of witchcraft involved. God, you know I love my witchcraft, yes. Lots of witchcraft involved, lots of friendship, romance, betrayal, and I'm so ready for the next series. Danielle Paige, if you watch this, please send me a proof of the next one. Go, you know I love you. I love you. Please send me a proof if you can, if you're allowed to. It's amazing. Just go check this book out if you like fairy tale retellings. It is the fairy tale retelling that you need to read, so just saying. And last but not least, I read House of Hades and Blood of Olympus by Riordan. If you'd like to know what I thought about these books, I will leave my I Love Riordan link down below. It was a giveaway, the giveaway has now closed, so but definitely go watch that, and I'll tell you all the reasons I love Riordan, but these were so good. The end of a series, obviously can't talk too much about it because I'll give away what happens in the books. just read some Rick Riordan. I'm not asking you to read this series, just read a book by Rick Riordan and see his writing style, see how addicted you get, and then from there go on this epic journey, because honestly, he is so worth the chance, although I'm sure like everybody has read him. Thumbs up for Rick Riordan, but definitely go and check these books out, they're glorious, so I love it. So there you have it, there is my review. I'm sorry if the lighting's been a bit whack throughout this whole video because it is nearly night time, like I said, and I've got this kind of box on me. Thank you guys so much for watching. My social media links down below, and I will link all the book depository links for the books mentioned here. If you go and buy them from those links, it helps me out and you get free shipping, so thank you if you do, and don't feel like you need to at all. Don't forget to comment down below letting me know what you thought about these books or what you read last month, and don't forget to thumbs this up if you liked it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.